The Unreal Engine 2 journey finally comes to an end. Welcome to part 4 of my mission to rank every single Unreal Engine 2 game ever made. From the unholy disasters we crawled through in part 1 to the genuinely amazing stuff we're finally celebrating today. If you haven't seen the first 3 parts yet, do yourself a favor, go watch those first. Trust me, it'll make this finale feel like a redemption arc after hours of budget chaos and emotional damage. Now, how did I rank them? Mostly based on my own opinion, as always, because I actually played or researched every single one of these games. But obviously I also factored in critic reviews and user reviews, just a little. So today we're talking about the best of the best, the games that truly showed off what Unreal Engine 2 could do. Some became cult classics, some shaped genres, and few still hold up better than half of what releases today. And as always, if you want to support the channel and get 1 week early access to all my videos, priority on your video suggestions, and your name in the credits with the legends who make this possible, hit that join button below. You can also join our Discord community, links in the description. And if you grab your games through GameEvo using my link and code ToastedGaming, you'll get 3% off while helping the channel at the same time. Information is in description below the video and in pinned comment. Alright, so we've suffered through the garbage, through mid-games. Now it's time to celebrate the games that actually deserve to be remembered. Let's finish the Unreal Engine 2 ranking and go out with a bang. This one's not just a game, it's literal propaganda that accidentally became kinda awesome. America's Army was developed by the US military to recruit players, but instead of being a cringe ad, it ended up being surprisingly authentic tactical shooter. It emphasized teamwork, communication, and discipline. No health packs, no Rambo nonsense, just methodical, realistic missions. Sure, it was basically Uncle Sam whispering, "Join the army, gamer." But as a free game in 2002 with great mechanics and solid graphics, it earned its place in history. Think of it as SWAT Force Serio's cousin that really wants you to enlist. After years of hiding in the shadows, Conviction turned Sam Fisher into a full-blown action hero. And honestly, it worked better than expected. The mark and execute system made you feel like a one-man execution squad, and the faster pacing gave the series new energy. It's not as stealth purist as the older games, but it's stylish. It's also cinematic and full of great storytelling moments. Plus, Michael Ironside's grizzled voice acting is peak tough dad energy. This was the game where Sam Fisher said, "You know what? I'm done sneaking. I'm angry now." Following up BioShock was like trying to make The Godfather Part 3 right after The Godfather 2. Expectations were brutal. But you know what? BioShock 2 pulled it off. You play as a big daddy, which flips the power dynamic completely. The atmosphere, plasmids, and combat all feel familiar yet refined. The story may not be as philosophical as the first, but the emotional core, especially the father-daughter theme, it hits hard. And that multiplayer mode? Surprisingly solid. It didn't reinvent Rapture, but it definitely reminded us why we loved being there. Now we're stepping into MMO territory, and Lineage II was a beast. Beautiful visuals for its time, huge castle sieges, and some of the most hardcore grinding you'll ever experience. It wasn't for casuals. This game demanded commitment, alliances, and sometimes even your sanity. But those who stuck with it were rewarded with massive PvP battles that felt truly epic. It became a phenomenon, especially in Asia, and helped define what a premium MMO looked like. Lineage 2 wasn't just a game, it was a lifestyle. One that probably cost players thousands of hours and maybe a few relationships. The Brothers in Arms series nailed something few World War II shooters did, making you care about your squad. Earned in Blood wasn't just another sequel, it expanded the first game's tactical gameplay with smarter AI, tougher missions, and an even grittier story. You weren't just running and gunning, you were coordinating suppressive fire, flanking enemies, and praying your guys didn't get shredded in the process. It had emotional weight. Also, historical accuracy was there, and there was gameplay that made Call of Duty look like a Michael Bay movie in comparison. It's war, but with brains and heart. If Brothers in Arms was tactical, Red Orchestra was downright brutal. This was realism turned up to 11. No crosshairs, no hand-holding, just pure, terrifying Eastern Front warfare. Every bullet mattered, every shot could kill, and every time you spawned, you questioned your life choices. It wasn't for everyone, but those who got it, they fell in love with its authenticity and atmosphere. You could feel the weight of every rifle, the chaos of every tank battle. It's like Arma's grim older brother, and it paved the way for Rising Storm and Squad. Is it a painful game? Yes. But it's also absolutely rewarding. What started as an Unreal Tournament 2004 mod turned into one of the most addictive co-op shooters ever made. Killing Floor took the wave-based survival concept and perfected it, letting you and your friends mow down hordes of creepy mutated freaks with an arsenal of glorious weapons. The game's dark British humor, heavy metal soundtrack, and bloody chaos made it an instant cult classic. It didn't need a deep story, just teamwork, good aim, and the will to survive. Few things are as satisfying as welding a door shut and blasting a flesh pound in the face. The game that redefined arena shooters. UT 2003 was fast, flashy, and pure adrenaline from start to finish. It introduced the movement system that made the series legendary, dodge jumps, wall flips, and shock combos that separated the pros from the noobs. The visuals blew minds back in 2002, showcasing just how powerful Unreal Engine 2 could be. Some fans argue UT99 had more soul, but 2003 was the turning point. The game that modernized the franchise and inspired countless arena shooters after it. This was multiplayer mayhem at its peak. Chaotic, skillful, and endlessly replayable. If Unreal Tournament was all about speed and style, Unreal Championship 2 said, "Hold my flak cannon, I'm about to get weird." Exclusive to the Xbox, it brought melee combat, third-person camera angles, and character-specific abilities into the arena shooter formula. It was absolutely risky, but it worked. It was bold, stylish, and pushed Unreal Engine 2 to its absolute limits on console hardware. Dual-bladed energy swords, lightning-fast reflexes, and over-the-top announcers. It was chaotic, experimental, and pure fun. This wasn't just another Unreal game, it was Unreal with swagger. The last great Splinter Cell, before Ubisoft locked Sam Fisher in the vault forever. Blacklist managed to blend stealth, action, and modern gadgets into something that appealed to both classic fans and newcomers. You could sneak through shadows, like a ghost, or go full assault with drones and silenced rifles. Your choice. The level design was brilliant, the co-op missions were intense, and it still looked damn good for an Unreal Engine 2 title pushing into 2013. It may have ditched Ironside's voice, but the gameplay spoke louder than words, or broken necks. Cel-shaded style, comic book panels, and conspiracy-driven storytelling. 13 was a visual revolution. At a time when every FPS was trying to look gritty and realistic, this game went full graphic novel. The story about an amnesiac assassin framed for killing the US president was pure spy thriller gold. The voice cast included David Duchovny and Adam West. The presentation was stylish as hell, and it oozed personality. Sure, the AI was a little dumb, but that aesthetic? Timeless. 13 wasn't just a shooter, it was art wrapped in bullets and betrayal. Stealth perfection. Thief Deadly Shadows gave players an entire city to sneak, steal, and skulk through, and it nailed the dark gothic atmosphere the series was known for. The lighting system was groundbreaking, the level design masterful, and the Shale Bridge Cradle mission still one of the scariest moments in non-horror video game gaming history. It balanced stealth, exploration, and story in ways few games ever have. Playing as Garrett felt like being the ultimate anti-hero, stealing from nobles one moment, creeping through haunted asylums the next. This was immersive sim royalty, plain and simple. Pandora Tomorrow didn't reinvent the series, it refined it. Building on everything that made the first Splinter Cell great, it gave us smoother animations, better lighting, and some truly tense missions that made hiding in the shadows feel like an art form. But the real MVP here? The Spies vs Mercs multiplayer mode. One team sneaks, the other hunts. It was genius, asymmetrical, and way ahead of its time. It turned stealth into a sport, and even decades later, people still talk about it. Ubisoft had found their rhythm. This was stealth with brains, tension, and style. Before the tactical FPS genre was boiled down to hero shooters and flashy gadgets, Raven's Shield was the real deal. You planned missions, managed your team, and executed perfect breaches, or got shredded for rushing in like an idiot. Built on Unreal Engine 2, it looked sharp, ran well, and had that gritty Tom Clancy authenticity that made it feel more like a simulation than a game. This was the golden era of Rainbow Six, before Ubisoft traded tactics for TikTok montages. A true classic that earned every ounce of respect. This game didn't just use the Star Wars license, it elevated it. Republic Commando dropped you into the Clone Wars as the leader of an elite squad, blending tactical squad commands with intense first-person combat. The sound design, squad chatter, and atmosphere made you feel like a badass soldier in a galaxy at war. It was gritty, mature, and showed a side of Star Wars that wasn't about Jedi or lightsabers. Just soldiers trying to survive. It's short, but it's brilliant. To this day, fans still beg for a sequel, and for a good reason. The one that started it all. When Splinter Cell dropped, it was like someone had handed us the stealth genre's next evolution. We got dynamic lighting, sound-based decision, and that signature night vision glow. This was revolutionary. Every mission felt like a spy movie, and Sam Fisher instantly became an icon. It wasn't just sneaking around, it was about control, precision, and outsmarting enemies in total silence. Ubisoft's partnership with Epic's engine produced something legendary here. A game so good that even Metal Gear fans had to admit, yeah, that's impressive. A true masterpiece that changed stealth forever. This is the gold standard of tactical realism. SWAT 4 didn't want you to be a hero. It wanted you to follow procedure. You weren't mowing down terrorists. You were clearing rooms, shouting commands, and trying not to shoot a suspect who suddenly surrendered mid-gunfight. Built on Unreal Engine 2, its atmosphere was so tense you could cut it with a flashbang. The AI was unpredictable, the missions felt alive, and the sense of danger never went away. You didn't play SWAT 4, you lived it. To this day, no other tactical shooter has captured that slow burn intensity quite the same way. Now we're talking masterpiece territory. BioShock took the Unreal Engine 2 and turned it into art. Rapture, a decaying underwater city built on failed ideals, was unlike anything we'd ever seen. The atmosphere, storytelling, and gameplay came together to create one of the most hauntingly beautiful experiences in gaming. The plasmids, the moral choices, the crazy twist at the end, everything about it screamed genius. It blurred the line between shooter and philosophy lecture in the best way possible. This wasn't just a game, it was a statement, and it still holds up better than most modern shooters today. This is where arena shooting reached its final form. Unreal Tournament 2004 took everything 2003 did right, fixed everything it did wrong, and added so much more. This time we got vehicle combat, massive maps, new modes like Onslaught. This was actually multiplayer chaos perfected. The movement, the weapons, the announcer yelling, "Headshot!" It all clicked. It was stylish, competitive, and pure adrenaline from start to finish. No microtransactions, no unlocks, just skill, speed, and a flag cannon to the face. This wasn't just a sequel, it was the ultimate Unreal experience. And here we are, the undisputed king of Unreal Engine 2. Chaos Theory is not just the best Splinter Cell, it's one of the best stealth games ever made. Everything about it was polished to perfection. The level design, the AI, the gadgets, and of course, Michael Ironside's legendary voice. You could approach missions however you wanted. You could ghost through vents and see him. Or you could choke out every guard in the building. The dynamic lighting, sound mechanics, and cinematic tension made it feel way ahead of its time. This wasn't just stealth, it was art. Ubisoft at its absolute peak. It's stylish, it's smart, and it's the definition of why Unreal Engine 2 deserves respect. Chaos Theory wasn't just the best game of this engine, it defined what the engine was capable of. And that's it. Every single Unreal Engine 2 game ranked from the bottom of gaming hell all the way to stealth perfection. What a ride. From the janky budget shooters and forgotten experiments to absolute legends like Chaos Theory and BioShock. This engine gave us everything, from dumpster fires to masterpieces. And if you made it through all 4 parts of the series, you're a real one. You officially survived the Unreal 2 era. And now I want to hear your thoughts. Which games did I underrate? And which ones did I put too high? And what's your personal favorite Unreal Engine 2 title? Drop your rankings and hot takes down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and ding the bell so you don't miss future videos. And trust me, there is a lot more coming. I'm already working on more engine rankings and different kind of rankings too. Also, if you want to support the channel, you can join right here on YouTube. You'll get 1 week early access to all videos, priority on your video suggestions, and your name in the credits with the legends who make videos like this possible. And don't forget, if you want to grab some games for yourself, use my Game Evo link in the description. It's also in the pinned comment below. That way you're supporting the channel and saving money. Plus with the code ToastedGaming you'll get 3% of all your purchases. And finally, join our Discord community. Links in the description too. So thanks for watching. for supporting, and for being part of this crazy ride through gaming history. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, always save before the cutscene.